Welcome to Shanie Sunshine Lounge, where we learn from those who are giving their heart to their craft and businesses today. And I'm Ronnie B. This is not Shanie. Today I have an awesome entertainer, Arika Kane. And she's here to share a little about herself, her craft, and being in the entertainment business. Arika, thank you for joining us in the lounge.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
It is so great. And Shanie's just good. I know Shanie's kicking herself that she's not able to make it for this one, but we will carry on. Now, Arika, please share a little about yourself.
Yes.
What had you become an entertainer? And are you taking care of yourself or others during this pandemic?
Well, music is in my DNA. I was brought up with it around me, my parents, my family. My parents are musicians and singers, and they were in many musical groups. When I was young, they were traveling on the weekends, and me and my brother would tag along, and they would perform. It started off as a church group, and it grew into a big production. Everybody kept joining the group, and their music became so much in demand, and their sound. And so they started traveling, and me and my brother would tag along, and, they'd perform at like fairs and carnivals and events, and they'd perform all different genres of music. So I, was inspired by all different genres of music, and it just became a love for me. And when I realized the talent was passed down, I was like, oh, well, maybe this is what I want to do. And after high school, I did go to college for about a year, and, cause it was like the thing to do. Like, you went to high school, you went to college, and like everybody was conforming to society. And, my passion was just like, pushing me and just like talking to me. And I was like, wait a minute. School education is awesome and all that. And, but for whatever reason, I just feel guided to do what I love. So I started saving up. I got a pretty good job. I started saving up for, demos, to record demos, to get my first car. And I was just on the grind for years and years. And then I, met with my current label, VSC Recordings, and became an official recording artist and songwriter. And so I'm now doing what I love, and I wouldn't change it for a second. And as far as the pandemic, oh my God, I think we all have to take care of each other. It's just been so trying. And doesn't it seem like everything's happening at once?
It's a little surreal. I know for myself, there's like a lot of good things that have been happening, just this year. Yeah. And then I've lost some loved ones and, all that. And it's just like, what is this? Yeah, I got it. And I was thinking about something that you said about, growing up in a family of talented people, and desire is God tapping at your heart.
Yes. Yes.
And it won't go away.
No, it won't. It sure didn't.
It will not go away.
It sure didn't. And you gotta just surrender at some point.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Going to surrender to your own desire.
Yeah, and your purpose. Purpose.
Now, thank you for sharing that. Now, we have a couple of questions we call lounge talk. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
And, Arika, here's the first question. It's hard work. You have dealt with many challenges. You touch many hearts. what touches your heart? What makes it all worthwhile?
It's funny you say that because I just experienced that. And it's really love and people showing love and people reaching out, to let you know they care, because, for example, like we were saying, everything's happening at once. I lost my grandmother in the process. My mother just had to get open heart surgery last week. And, when you go online in this climate right now, it's like a battlefield. Like you see people just literally attacking each other. So it got discouraging, to be like, well, isn't this a time where people need to actually come together and be there for each other more? And so when I was going through all this stuff with my family, when I reached out to the people who really, truly love and care about me and my family, the amount of love and prayers was like 400 people were like saying the most beautiful prayers. And it literally restored my faith in humanity at this point in time. So that's what touched my heart. And so yeah, it just happened recently. So it's funny you asked that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just you saying that had me be in touch with something someone said a long time ago when I was younger. And they said that good will always beat out evil. But good has to be very good.
Yes. Yes.
It ain't an easy fight.
No, good has to work harder than anything. That's real. That's definitely the story of all good people's lives, right?
Good has to work and not take a day off. And I was thinking about one thing I had kind of wanted to ask, so I don't forget. What was the name of the church group?
Oh, they were called Mass Production.
That's an interesting name for a church group.
Well, that was when they grew into a bigger group and started traveling. Okay. So they were a small group, and then it grew and grew and grew, and musicians were, just wanted to be part of it, and singers, and it almost turned into like, it was a big production. So they ended up calling themselves Mass Production, and they took their show on the road.
That is interesting. That's interesting. Okay. I can get, like you said, the group. And that, man, we got this mass production. Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, that's how my parents met, actually. Before I was born. That's how they met.
Oh, they met. Okay, they weren't already married. They met through the group. Oh, okay.
They met through the group, yeah.
And they said it wouldn't last.
They're right. Yep. Real love stands the test of time, right?
Oh, okay, Erica. All right now. That is so true. And last year, my mother made her transition, and my parents have been married over 50-something years. And
wow.
And I'm like, I look at my mother, I look at my father, and I'm like, now I love y'all. But I don't know if I could be hanging out with y'all for 50 years. So y'all really love each other. I'm
right.
And after about 3 days, I'm ready to go someplace.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Now, we have another question for you coming right up after we hear a little of your music. And I'm going to ask the DJ to please play Colors of the Wind.
You learn things you never knew. You never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corner moon? Or as the grinning bobcat while he grieves? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? Can you paint with all the colors of the breeze? Can you paint with all the colors of the Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come rolling all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what they were. The rainstorm in the river are my brothers. The herring and the otter are my friends. And we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hope that never ends. How high does the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corner moon. For whether we are white or copper skin, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountains. We need to paint with all the colors of the breeze. We need to paint with all the colors of the we can own the earth instead of upon its earth instead. We can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Wow. I love that song. I really, really, I'm a big kid at heart. I saw the Pocahontas movie and
Yeah. Yeah.
so I remember it. I saw it back in the day and, wow. Arika, can you just share what inspired you about that had you sing this song?
Yes, it's very special. So my grandmother, who recently passed in March, right when the COVID stuff was starting, I was very close with her, and she was always so in touch with the earth and so honoring of the beauty of the earth and the animals and nature. And every year she planted this beautiful flower garden, and it was like, oh my God, it was like a painted picture, and she was so proud of it. And she grew up, her parents, which are my great grandparents, had a place up in Nova Scotia, and she would mine crystals and minerals and rocks and bring them home. And I remember when I was little, she had them displayed through her whole house, and she would show me, you know, she would tell me about every crystal and every mineral and everything. And it was like, to her, everything was alive. Wow. You know, everything had consciousness. And, you know, when you're a child, you're more in tune with that, because you know, you believe in magic, you believe in the wonder and the beauty of the earth. And so after she passed, I really connected with her spirit, and I feel she guided me to sing that song and to carry her message forward, but also to add some much needed healing to the world right now, when everything, you know, everything out there is, you know, there's a lot of negativity and there's a lot of pain. A lot of stuff is going on. And so along with carrying her message, it was like also adding, you know, some much needed healing through the song. So I did it in honor of her, really. Yeah.
Wow. That is, you know, Shanie is going to be just so upset. Okay. You're in Shanie's world. She's like, and when she hears this, she's going to be proud. But I'm like, Shanie, you're the one who left the country. You know?
Aww.
Oh God.
Well, give her my love.
Oh no, she's going to have me go, look, you have got to, I need to interview her. So your grandmother, what you just shared, that is Shanie's world. But okay,
oh wow!
All right, well, I guess I'll just have to carry on. Okay. Now you've been in the entertainment world for really actually all your life, other than you were, you know, going to school and stuff like that. But you know that your parents, your whole culture. And you've probably seen a couple of things. Would you please share 2 or 3 dumb things you have seen people do trying to make it in the entertainment business?
Wow. Okay. Well, I would call them my teachers. First of all. I would call them my teachers because I knew what not to do, especially being a female in the music business. And the number one thing would be to not, you know, reveal myself in a physical way and have my image and my body be the driving force to my music. I've seen that a lot. And I've seen that in artists. They don't do it at first, and then slowly, you know, it kind of turns into that. And that's one thing that I never wanted. Like I want my music to come from my heart. My goal is to touch people's hearts. It's not to get them to like drool over me. Okay. So my goal is to, I'm not saying that they would, I'm not saying, and I'm not being like, you know, I'm not, please don't take that in any arrogant way. I mean, as a female, my goal is to touch people and move people and not, use, you know, I want to use what God gave me from the inside.
Right.
That sums it up.
Right. You know, and you know, you're a very beautiful lady, and you know, I get where you're coming from. Is that it's the respect my talent.
Yes.
Okay? And like we're Old Grumpy Radio Network. We're not Old Grumpy Television Network, so we don't really do like video. But someone once shared with me, they said they really love radio because you're not distracted, you know, by the person's expressions or how they dress that day or whatever. You only got their voice and connecting with that voice. And part of me is like, you know, that's what I love about music is that I don't need to see you, I can hear that spirit. And, so, you might be, 10 feet tall, or you might be, 2 feet tall, but that music and what you're putting out there may be enormous. And, so I can really, really appreciate that. And
Yes.
was there anything else you picked up along the way? Cause I know I had, one of the dumbest things that I saw someone do trying to get into the entertainment business was, basically, and this is way back, they were trying to dress and look like a certain performer.
Yeah.
Like that was gonna actually, it's like, well, why are you doing that? Cause that's not having you be you. And
yes.
it was just not smart. And then
Yes.
you have to get to know that performer. It's like, I don't think that'll work.
No, and actually that was going to be my second thing is gimmicks, or publicity stunts, right? Or gimmicks or something, especially now where the social media and the digital world, it's easy. It can be easy to get exposure and it can be harder. Now, to make it easier and break through, I've seen a lot of people try to, do a gimmick or do some sort of publicity stunt, and they go viral, right? They go viral and they get all these followers and then, but unless you continue those things, it's, people are gonna follow you because of those things. So if you stop doing those things, it's almost like, okay, you had your moment but nobody really cares about you.
Right.
So that's another thing I never wanted to get involved with, because even if it takes longer, I told myself, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care how many people I reach. I want it to be authentic and real and, make people feel the good energy. I don't want to be known for any stunts, right? So
right.
that would be my other not to do things.
All right, great. Now, Arika, what was the toughest lesson you've had to learn?
It would be trust in the entertainment business. It would be, kind of like the disappointment in people. Yeah, I learned so many hard lessons. Me and my label, we started together. When I signed to the label was just starting, and we learned the business together. And as we, right in the beginning of my career, I was all over Billboard. I was getting hundreds of thousands of, YouTube hits. I was all over terrestrial radio, which was great. But my circle of people was expanding and expanding and expanding. And it was sort of like I had to stop and look, and I was like, all of a sudden I was surrounded by vultures, in the industry who wanted a piece of me and telling me who I need to be, what I need to wear, how I need to act, and how I need to even do interviews, what I need to act like and how I need to carry myself. And none of it felt right. I'm like, no, I know what I'm doing. I want to be myself. And, then I had stylists that want to turn me into this, whatever their vision is. And I'm just,
whatever their vision is.
Whatever their vision is, like this, goddess painting, I've heard it all. And,
oh God.
And I'm like, I'm not a machine. I really knew then that I was like, okay, I'm saying no to all of this, and I'm going to follow my heart and put out the energy that I am here to put out.
Great.
And little by little, the vultures started disappearing.
Yep.
And so now I'm at a place where my circle is so tight and we started together and we're still here together, and everyone who even, because my energy is so strong now, like I really had to build it up so that people that think they could take advantage of me, they don't even come in my aura now. Yeah, I don't even get connected with them. Like, for example, all the interviews that I get are so lovely, like yourself. Like, everybody I end up connecting with now is like so in alignment with who I am. Wow. And so, yeah, it would be, really honing in on my intuition and understanding who to trust and who not to trust, because everybody is out for something, and you just gotta learn that. And I did.
Well, I'm out for pizza as soon as this darn COVID is over.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. Really, really. And
you're welcome.
I just say the thing that I heard most was integrity. Integrity. And when you act with integrity and you build a foundation of integrity, it just doesn't allow for people who don't have that same integrity to be, to be in your space. They might knock on the door, but they're going to go away. So
right.
Thank you for sharing that.
Exactly. And, yes.
Now I have a final question. Okay. And I'm sad because it's been going so well.
I know, I could talk to you forever.
Okay. And what was the hardest choice you've had to make regarding your career?
Oh, okay. Well, now you're really digging up some deep stuff. Well, I've walked away. A lot of my fans don't know this because I don't necessarily, put it out there, but I've walked away from millions and millions of dollars, major opportunities, major, bigger record deals, like $40 million offers. I've walked away from a lot of things because I became aware, and this is when I was, my intuition was getting stronger. I became aware of the types of things that go on in the industry, as far as like the higher levels, like if you want to get to certain levels, and the things you have to compromise and sacrifice, which is your integrity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it isn't hearsay because I've actually had the conversations. And it's not a conspiracy because I've experienced it. So you can miss me with the conspiracy stuff because I was literally faced with propositions that I would never, ever get involved in. And so it wasn't even hard for me to choose because I knew what that road would lead down to. Yeah. And my peace inside is I will never compromise my peace. Nope. And so that would be, to other people, they may think that, why would you walk away from all that stuff? But that's what I chose, and I chose to stay independent and do things my way, But yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I have one day I have stories to tell, let me tell you. One day, I'm gonna put it out there.
Oh, well, I'll put it like this. It's one of my just really awesome partners, and I'm going to give her a shameless plug. Dr. Janice Hollis of Hollis Media. I'm going to say, hey, look, before she writes that book, y'all got to be friends. Cause
Yes.
I'm like, okay, hey, Janice, wait just a minute, because she's beautiful. Y'all definitely need to hook up. And
cool.
God, you love her. But so that was my
nice
plug for Hollis Media and Janice and Dr. Janice Hollis. And wow. Now
I would love to connect.
All right. I'll make sure that happens. Now,
okay, good.
Wow, this has been a really, really great conversation. And Erica, I want to thank you for sharing your wisdom. I know you have a lot of things on your plate, and you're doing. Can you, share what's coming up, and maybe how people can follow you and see where you're going to perform next?
Yeah. So I'm currently working on an EP that I'm planning on releasing this fall. So I'm excited about that. As far as performing, obviously with the pandemic, the traveling, we don't really know what's in store for that, on a physical level, but I probably will be doing some more virtual performances. I have one coming up for Hard Rock Live, which I will update everybody on my social media. And so you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Arika Kane, and also my website, arikakane.com. And please feel free to download and stream my music. It's on all digital platforms.
All right. Hey, all right. I love that. Well, Erica, it has just truly been a pleasure and my honor to fill in for the Sunshine Princess of Poetry. And I have to send you some of her poetry. You love Shanie's poetry. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get beat up, okay? so you notice I'm mentioning the ladies in my life, so that I don't get beat up here, But I think you love some of her work. And
yeah, I love poetry. I love it.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have to talk to our buddy so I can make sure I get you connected and get stuff shared. And
yes.
Once again, I want to thank you for being our guest at Shanie Sound Sunshine Lounge. It was great. I'm Ronnie B. This is Shanie Sunshine Lounge, and check us out next time.
Thank you so much.